Hello everyone and welcome to the final game of the day in the EPFA Four Nations 2023. In this game between Austria and Italy, it promises fireworks. We've had a great day so far, hoping for more in this game scheduled for kickoff around 4:15. Once again joined on commentary by my good friend Greg Baxter.
Good afternoon, Ryan. Like you say, this game on paper promises to be very, very good, given what we saw this morning.
Oh yeah,
especially from Austria.
Austria were incredibly impressive. They opened their account of the EPFA Four Nations in a 2-2 draw with Germany. And without context, you wouldn't necessarily know how that game played out. Germany were 2 goals up at the half-time break. Austria bringing it back. Could have almost won in the end. So they'll no doubt be wanting to register their first win of the EPFA Four Nations. That was followed by Switzerland, Italy putting together some really nice football, winning 6-0. And the game we have just commentated on between Germany and Switzerland ended 13-0 to our hosts, Switzerland. We'll go through the team lineups, or certainly the squads, starting with Austria.
Right. For the Austrians this afternoon, their squad. Number 1, Arthur Rollman. Number 2, Winfried Zwanzwiger. 4, Karolina Songzai. 5, Moritz Ziegner. 6, Jakob Schriefel. 8, Michael Kiefler. 10, Ilias Jusic. And 11, Henry Ziegner. And their coach, the ever flamboyant Leonard Vasile. And for their Italian opponents, we go to the man who is a 1/8 Italian, as pointed out this morning.
Indeed. Can you not hear it in the passion in my voice?
Pasta you had for dinner last night probably is 1/8.
Can't find good pasta in Germany. So they're number 1, Luca Mercuri. Number 2, Donatella Soriano. Number 7, Gabriele Mindru. Number 8, Gabriele Zoggia. Number 10, Marco Ferrazza. Number 18, Arini Infantino. Number 20, Martina Latina. And number 22, Simone Ranzato. Their coaches, Rosenzo Vandelli and Carlo Impera. Hard one to call this. It'll be interesting to see how Austria set up.
Oh yeah, I'm reserving judgment or prediction until I see the Austrian starting lineup.
Because I think we both acknowledge that they didn't necessarily start with their strongest side. I think because Jakob Schreifel had some difficulties making his chair legal to conform within EPFA's regulations. But he's warming up now, so I very much assume he will start the game with Arthur Vollmann on the bench. Henry Ziegner.
Harsh on Arthur Vollmann, I think.
I would like to see a lineup with them both in it. Potentially having Jakob Schriefel on one of the wings, Ilias Jusic in the centre, Arthur Vollmann at the back with maybe Karolina Songai on the other wing.
Henry Ziegner really impressed me when he came on.
He was brilliant and obviously got the equaliser late on. So no doubt he'll be wanting to start this game. We're yet to have the starting 4 confirmed. Likewise with Italy, looks like their team has lined up, so we'll be able to go through the team lineups of Italy. Probably the best team that they had whilst facing Switzerland in that 6-0 win. They've got Gabriele Mindru in goal, adorning that dark green goalkeeper jersey. Got B. Marco Ferrazza in the centre with wingers in Arini Infantino and Simone Ranzato. I don't know how to call this.
Whatever happens, fingers crossed, it should be a very good game of football.
if we can put up the current standings for you, for your point of reference, you can see what a win for either one of these sides would do in the context of the EPFA Four Nations 2023. So a win for Italy would take them top onto 6 points. Austria a win for them would see them go joint on points with Germany. They'd have to register a number of goals, 14 at minimum, to surpass them in the table. Remember, goal difference will play a crucial part in the overall standings. As you can see at the bottom, whoever finishes the group stage in the top 2 positions will automatically progress to the EPFA Four Nations final tomorrow at 3:45 Central European summertime.
I think if you look at the table, a win for Italy puts them in, obviously, top of the table, and I would put them in a strong position. However,
Austria still have to face Switzerland.
You have to take, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
You have to take fixtures into account.
Of course.
If Austria prevail here, barring, and I don't mean in disrespect to Switzerland here, barring what would be an unlikely result, that would see, I think, Austria through to the final. I think for Austria, if you come out of this without losing, you at least give yourself that strong.
If I'm Austria, I'm thinking we can go on and win the group. If they can get 3 points here, they're obviously facing Switzerland at 11:40 tomorrow morning. So, yeah, really interesting. Cannot wait for this one as Nordin Subovic, our central referee, ushers in the captains. It's going to be Jakob Schriefel starting. And for Austria, met by Marco Ferraza, got the starting 4 of Austria. They got Winfried Zwanziger in goal, Jakob Schriefel in the bright yellow in the centre, with wingers of Karolina Songai and Ilias Jusic.
I don't know what to make of it. I think that's harsh on Henry Ziegner. I mentioned, while I don't think certainly Winfried Zwanziger had a poor game, I mentioned obviously wanting as many strike forces as you can get on the pitch at one point, at one time.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this approach helps or hinders Austria.
What you can expect.
So Jakob Schriefel gets things underway for Austria. Immediately to Ilias Jusic, over to Karolina Songai. Simone Ranzato involved immediately in trying to restrict Ilias Jusic from advancing up the court. You can see here the Italian support to our left-hand side. Absolutely fantastic, as it was earlier today. Karolina Songai, diagonal pass over to Ilias Jusic, cleared by Marco Ferraza. High pace, opening 30 seconds. Ferraza just trying to get past Jakob Schriefel.
So what I was going to say before my headset was rudely just yanked off my head by the clumsy Alex Dowding was you can expect guaranteed atmosphere.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see the game tomorrow between Italy and Germany. Drums versus soundboard. Marco Ferraza is going to dribble all the way into the Austria box. Just guided to the right-hand side by Jakob Schriefel. Have to adjust their positioning accordingly. Infantino now in the centre for the Azzurri. You can tell he wanted to flick it back. Great work from Jakob Schriefel. Sends it in the path of Ilias Jusic, who is unaware it is coming into his path. Just for reference, the designation and the side of the court is that of the black and yellow hazard tape.
Very, very lucky not to be booked for avoiding a 2-on-1 there. But it wasn't even close. He was miles off the court.
2-on-1, this time awarded in favour of Italy, sorry.
The German fans are doing their best to
add atmosphere.
support.
It's nice that we've got some sound from the right
Support
hand
their
side.
neighbours.
Of course. So,
try and fight off that Italian support.
Arini Infantino, she knows how to take a set piece, fired diagonally towards the left-hand post, seen out of play by Zvanziger. Brilliant dead ball specialist, Infantino. Faraza with this one into the side of Jakob Schreifel's chair. Little to separate these sides in the opening 2.5 minutes. Apologies for the time that's being displayed on your streams. We've had just under 3.
Yeah, we have not played 70 minutes. We have played just over 3.
So Infantino with another dead ball. Fired down. Songai does well to send it in the path of Ilyas Jusic. Gabriel Mindru yet to have any involvement in this final game of the day. Faraza down to Ranzato. Well worked by Ilyas Jusic to just let it collide off the side of the number. It's 22 for Italy. Jakob Schriefel is going to take Ilyas Jusic down the left-hand wing. Carolina Songai in the centre. He opts for the latter. He gets the better of Marco Faraza, met by Gabriel Mindru.
It is a cacophony of noise.
Great atmosphere. I hope that's being picked up across the EPFA stream. Got the correct time. 4.5 minutes.
That's a correct
played.
pass. Dinas Yusuf just behind Carolina Songai.
I think, as we suspected, Greg, very similarly matched. Seem to be cancelling each other out thus far. It's going to take a moment of magic, I think, to open the scoring in this game.
It's one of those where it'll be a moment of magic like that pass.
Carolina Songai has an attempt at goal, met by Gabriel Mindru. She's still there, proving to be an attacking threat for Austria.
Austria. It was very close to going in. That should be a 2-on-1.
Advantage played. Songai.
What a chance that was for Austria. As mentioned, it's going to take a moment of magic. That pass from Jakob Schriefel was exactly that. Carolina Songai at the back post just couldn't quite time it to bury it in the corner. As the Italians try and rouse their team. I apologise if it sounds like I'm yelling down the mic and you can't hear the crowd. But I'm having to yell to be able to hear myself.
I think we've also got pitch side mics, so you're most certainly picking them up. 2-on-1 in favour of Austria. Austria nil, Italy nil, 6 minutes played.
Put the Italians to our left. Leo Vasily, the Austrian coach.
Very animated, isn't he?
To the right. And here I am, stuck in the middle with Ryan. No place I'd rather be. Is that where I'm?
That's the right answer.
There we go. Okay.
Jakob Schriefel into Ilyas Jusic.
Options here. No idea.
Infantino comes over to control it, tries to flick it to the right-hand side of Winfried Zvanziger. They just put up a defensive wall because Jakob Schriefel got back into his defensive role. Good work, though, initially from Arini Infantino. Over to Marco Faraza on the right-hand side. Forces an effort at goal. Cleared by Winfried Zvanziger. The pressure still being mounted by the Italian number 10. He's going to try and pick out Infantino, who has to vacate the space in the top right-hand corner.
Great play by
end-to-end
Jakob
stuff.
Schriefel there. Can he get on the end of it?
Mindru clears initially, met by Jusic. Once again, Mindru there.
Schriefel got to try and get back if he can a little bit. Maybe trust Jusic. Oh, he's caught in two minds. Went to go back. Then just realised maybe I should stay back and just let Jusic go to the far side. Jusic turned around and caught Schriefel in the 2-on-1.
Ranzato now. Been fit, hasn't had too much involvement in the opening 8 minutes. We've seen his quality already today. We're going to want to try and get him on the ball more frequently, and this is a perfect place to do it. 2-on-1 in a deep position for Italy. Looks like Marini Infantino is going to take. Just talk about the technique of Infantino as she shapes up to take this set piece.
It's almost like the old school.
It's very unique.
It's almost remember
like in your storm chair.
No, what I was going to say actually was the old school TDXs with a Predator bumper.
So full rotation to meet it, fired into the box, over to Marco Ferrazza, just wide of the right hand post. Really well worked opportunity from Italy, spearheaded by that set piece from Infantino.
This is one thing I don't like about the Austrians, their goal kicks. When I say Austrians, I mean not in general, I mean this Austrian side.
Thanks for clarifying.
Before I start World War III, their goal kicks. This little tap and run doesn't really fit with the expansive passing play they're trying to make. And the one thing they are a little bit susceptible to is where Jakob Schriefel is the middleman, but wearing the goalkeeper top. Winfried Zwanziger in the box has to be aware that when Jakob Schriefel is coming back, Jakob has to go either round him to avoid the 2-on-1, or Zwanziger needs to drop to the line, allow Schriefel to get in the box, and then engage.
Yeah.
Just need to avoid those 2-on-1 because they are easy, needless fouls to be giving away. The referee's hand is on his pocket here, and it is a yellow card.
It's our first yellow card of the competition will be awarded.
We've just been reliably informed by linesman on this near side, Caroline Bean, that was for unsportsmanlike conduct.
So confirmation of that yellow card for number 6, Jakob Schriefel.
We're going to go back to keeper here. We're going to go back to the keeper.
No, the way she's shaping up.
No, I couldn't quite see.
Great pass. Simone Ranzato now. Splitting diagonal pass once again from Infantino.
I got in trouble earlier for using the phrase on your bike, so let me explain myself.
Please elaborate.
Having the awareness to know where the ball's going to go, you trust your teammate to find it.
Be more advanced, yeah.
You want to just go as quickly as you can, get on the end of it. Here's the first rendition of Freed from Desire by the Italians.
Yeah, great support. Ilyas Jusic going to try and relieve pressure on the Austrian defence. Very penned in by the attacking players of Italy. Jakob Schriefel just has to reverse and guide that ball out for a corner kick. Very condensed in. You look at all the Italian players. Ranzato's now dropping off slightly, but they're playing that brave, expansive, attacking football again. And as I say that, Ranzato drops right off. So a bit more pragmatic than their earlier approach. Mindru couldn't quite get the connection he probably wanted. And it goes out for an Austrian goal kick.
The gap was there. The gap between Zwanziger and Schriefel. Zwanziger expecting the ball to the back post. Leaving a massive gap in between himself and his goalkeeper. Again, this little tap and run. Goal kick. Oh.
That's better.
Yeah, much better.
Much better. See how much it opens up the play if you can find the accuracy on that first pass. Now Ilyas Jusic has a chance to guide the ball up this left-hand wing. A great pass to find him from Carolina Songai. And a great chance for Italy here now to break a crucial interception from Winfried Zwanziger. Full credit to the Austrian number 2, who was alert and aware of that oncoming counter-attack and cut it out immediately.
It sounds like a thunderstorm in here now.
It certainly does. So another set piece for Infantino. No one on this right-hand wing to receive it, so Songai and Infantino battling away on that far-hand side.
Two points for Winfried Zwanziger there. One, very alert, as you mentioned, sweeping up there. However, goal kicks, if you're planning on changing it now so that you have Schriefel launch the ball forward, are you not better off substituting Zwanziger for perhaps Michael Kiefler, who came on in the second half in the first game, who has that strike force, who has the power to generate and get it up the court. Then you can play with trust your deepest man to hit the goal kick.
It's the same with Arthur Vollmann, who's currently adorning the yellow goalkeeper jersey for Austria on the bench. So I wonder if they could potentially switch him with Winfried Zwanziger and put Jakob Schriefel in that central position. Options for both sides to utilise throughout this game. We've had 13 and a half minutes. Nothing to separate the sides as of yet. Very similarly matched.
If I'm looking for Austria here, I'm thinking maybe substitution. I think the wingers just aren't having the necessary effect that they really are aiming for. Not getting those passes back into the middle consistently enough with ball contact.
In terms of strength and depth, I'd probably say Austria have one of the best sides here in Munich. We spoke about Henry Ziegner and what he brings. You've just made a case for Michael Kiefler coming on and being a bit more progressive with them goal kicks. We've spoken about Arthur Vollmann.
I prophesise again.
Go on.
Because Henry Ziegner is going to come on for Austria. There's Ilyas Jusic and Faraza there, battle, an outside man. Here comes the substitution.
Let's make confirmation of that on your screen. Ilyas Jusic, interesting choice to take Jusic off, but it is Henry Ziegner, the scorer of their equaliser against Germany. Should have confirmation of that on your screen now. A nice diagonal pass from Jakob Schriefel, couldn't quite meet Carolina Songai.
Interesting choice for substitution. Any thoughts as to?
As I said, they just have strength and depth, and whether we may not necessarily understand or comprehend their kind of approach to this game, we want to see kind of their best attacking team to really force the game and try and take a lead, but they may want to sit back a little bit more, be a bit more pragmatic and wear Italy down a bit, so when we approach the kind of the latter stages of the second half, they can have that reserved energy.
That was something you saw in that game against Germany this morning.
And my point exactly. They won the back foot for large percentages of the first half and second to a certain degree. They adapted, they adjusted, they made their substitutions, and they were the far better side because they had that energy, they had that dynamism. So Schriefel into Henry Ziegner, tries to flick it towards Songai, but Faraza and Ranzato both there to meet it. Ranzato now. I think he was.
They're looking for Carolina Songai there to not drive away with the ball. Front bumper back into Jakob Schriefel. Get the passing going. The game's just fallen into a bit of a lull, I'd say.
It's typically what happens when teams are so closely matched. It's the nature of kind of cancelling each other out. That's where I cite that kind of moment of magic to really put your stamp on the game. and then kind of dictating the tempo from there if you've got that 1-goal advantage. Italy dribbling it all the way into the Austrian box. Streifel now going to try and relieve pressure on himself and Winfried Zwanziger.
I said it earlier, if Streifel's at the box, Zwanziger cannot sit on the edge of the box.
He has to drop off. So this, arguably the most credible chance for Italy to take the lead, is slightly to the right of the box. Infantino, we've spoken about how effective her set pieces are. Marco Ferraza occupying a position between Streifel and Zwanziger. Ranzato at the back post. He has to be careful of his positioning with his captain. I think there will be less power on this. She hasn't gone for the full rotation. Take that back. Across the box to Ranzato. Fired in the direction of that left-hand post. Cleared well by Winfried Zwanziger, who's been very effective in his defensive duties in this first half. We're approaching the final 2 minutes plus any additional time. Austria 0, Italy 0.
They're just needless free kicks to be given away, those 2-on-1s. Needless. They're just inviting pressure when you're arguably on top of the game.
That's that inexperience, though, isn't it? And how games like this are so crucial for their wider development and understanding of the game within competitive situations. You can practice it within training, but nothing compares to competitive fixtures. Mindru's done extremely well there. And we get another set piece. Final minute approaching. It's going to be Ferraza taking this. Infantino now on the right-hand wing. See the space she's got at that far post. If Ferraza, the captain, can work the ball over to the number 18. They're switching. Very interesting. But we know how effective she is at delivering accurate, fast balls, and they're kind of crucial to generating opportunities. If she has the accuracy to complement the power, Ferraza has a good option to score here. Blocked by Jakob Streifel. Locked between himself and Ranzato. Contact foul. Another opportunity.
Sorry, got to remember, Streifel is on a yellow card.
He is. Now we've got a direct free kick. I want to see Infantino have an attempt at goal.
You'd think he's only got one more contact. Maybe as a warning, as a last warning.
Direct free kick, and they go with Ferraza for the first chance. Why? I just think Infantino
if
could
I spoke
deliver.
Italian, I would ask.
Yeah, Mindru flicks off the back of his chair. Winfried Zwanziger trying to dribble out. You can see Jakob Streifel dropped right off, allowing Zwanziger the space.
So why does Streifel drop off for Zwanziger? But
it's just that understanding. We know that Jakob Streifel has that game understanding. Three in the box. Late pressure for the Azzurri.
These are sloppy fouls to be given away by Austria.
Really, they're going to want half time to come fairly sharpishly.
What I would say to your point on, sorry, no, 2-on-1.
So just
what I would argue is yes, Streifel has a game understanding, but surely there are players on the bench like Michael Kiefler.
No, I know, and they can make them adjustments.
Here we go.
Into Mindru, fired nearly between the chairs of Zwanziger and Streifel. What a brilliant half.
I think it started really well. Had a bit of a lull in the middle.
It did.
Then that last 5 minutes, the Italians really put the pressure on. Austria giving away needless, silly fouls, which didn't allow them to clear. And then that last chance, right at the death, that first half, just trying to split that Austrian defence. Great save from Jakob Streifel. And then the second save on the rebound to keep it at Austria 0, Italy 0. Ryan, your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, really competitive. Seem to cancel each other out for large majorities. Italy finishing strong though, and really condensing Austria in. They were made a few sloppy mistakes and then 2-on-1 infringements, contact fouls. and more. Jakob Schriefel, such a key player in that Austrian side, has to be careful. As you've mentioned, he's on a yellow card, could have easily seen red with that contact foul late in that first half.
Definitely his last warning.
So, but I was just checking to see the classification status of the Austrian players to see if I could kind of comprehend and understand why they set up how they do. But with Zwanziger being a PF2 and Kiefler, and I think Arta Volman both being ones, it kind of be really like to see Volman or Kiefler come on in that goalkeeper role, Schreifel to be that dynamic centre player, Ziegner and Songai on the wings.
I think there will be some changes. Smile, Ryan. Come on, you're on camera. Come on, smile. There will be some changes from Austrians, but we will wait to see what happens in the second half.
Yeah, completely. I don't think Italy will change. They were in the ascendancy in the latter stages. They'll want to start as they left off. But join myself and Greg shortly for the second half. Hello everyone, welcome back. The final half of our final game of the day between Austria and Italy, currently at a deadlock, 0-0. I think, as I suspected, Italy unchanged from that finished the first half. An adjustment prophesied by my co-commentator, Mr. Baxter.
This is what I wanted to see. Here we go, exactly the same as the first game.
So Michael Kiefler in goal, Jakob Schriefel in the centre, Ilyas Jusic and Ziegner. Yeah, arguably their best starting four.
This is what I wanted to see from the Austrians. Can they have the same effect, the same second half that they had against Germany this morning? We will find out.
The question, if they know it's effective, why they don't utilise it earlier, whether it plays into what I said earlier about kind of trying to stay in the game, keep it close, and then utilising this tactic and set up late on to capitalise on potential fatigue. It's been a long day.
Jakob Schriefel got away with a turn one there. I mentioned that player on the line needs to be aware, once the keeper goes out the box, you have to move. Schriefel and Kiefler getting away with one early doors there.
Ziegner Try to fire it centrally. Ranzato. Well played by Streufel once again.
There's a
miss hit there. Faraza now going to try and guide it over to Infantino on the right-hand side. Kiefler with his first involvement. Faraza trying to find the gap between the two. Our assistant referee, Millie Bean, signalling for 2-on-1 in favour of Austria. Respite for that defence. Very fast-paced start to the second half. Apologies for the glare on our cameras. There's nothing we can control to bring the blind down in the top right-hand corner. We apologise if the ball is slightly lost when it enters that Austrian box. It's very bright, as I can see on my screen.
Just means we have to do a better job of describing.
Exactly. Assume we're commentating for radio. Ziegner advancing down the right-hand wing, tried to flick it into the box, has an attempt. Mindru now with Faraza eventually dribbling it.
Great communication from
danger.
Streufel to his winger there. Ziegner, here, can he find the pass? Shot straight down the middle.
Streufel into Mindru.
Faraza is not able to get back and defend. Mindru does well, extremely well, extremely well now. Just to hold it off and then try and break himself.
Flicked out of play.
Italy are trying to play with a quick tempo.
Marco Faraza to take this kick in. Looks like he's going to opt to find Ranzato, intercepted by Henry Ziegner. All the way back to Mindru's, advanced out of his defensive box, leaving it unmanned until Marco Faraza.
There's playing with a quick tempo, then there's hitting the ball aimlessly for no one to get on the end of.
Faraza. Now Jakob Streufel. Over to Ziegner. Great pick off over to Ilyas Jusic. Back to his winger. An opportunity here. Henry Ziegner fires it towards goal. Blocked by the stationary Gabriel Mindru. Well worked chances from the Austrians, who are growing into this game. Arguably their most clear-cut chance of the fixture.
Almost a carbon copy of his equaliser in the first game.
Yeah, I agree.
This time he just hit it straight at the keeper rather than picking a corner. The gap was there at the near post again.
We speak about it time and time again, but not trying to force the opening. Have some quick exchange, snappy passes between wingers. Another attempt from Henry Ziegner. Just guides to the right-hand side of the right post.
We saw this in that first game. Austria come out in the second half.
What a brilliant pass down the left-hand wing, just to relieve the pressure. No one there to receive it, but it's gone from one end of the court to the other.
Well, in the battle of fans on this left-hand side, Italy are winning about 10-0.
Yeah.
Again, opting for this tap and run.
How quickly Faraz is there to try and limit the space of Jakob Streufel.
It just invites the pressure.
Very animated as always. Leo Vasili to our right. Cleared. An assured clearance from Henry Ziegner. Could have almost gone the other way there, because you had Kiefler. Streufel was out of his box and Ziegner came to clear it, but
I don't think.
Just before that, the Italian players obviously swarming the final third of Austria.
I think Streufel managed to stay in his box there.
Did he?
Yes, I believe so.
It's that glare for me. As Ilyas Jusic now counters for Austria. Contact. Play allowed to continue from our central referee, Nordin Subovic. Assistant referees, Caroline Bean and Millie Bean. Mother-daughter combination.
Lack of communication there. I love the passion Henry Ziegner has for the game.
It's his facial expressions. I'm not sure how well they're being picked up over our streams, but very animated, very passionate.
He's apologising profusely there for giving away a 2-on-1. He knows he's in the wrong. He has this drive for the game, it seems like.
Shows an understanding. He kind of acknowledges where he's gone wrong. Jusic into Ziegner, back to Jusic. Going to control it with the right-hand side of his chair. Contact from Ranzato off the ball there. That's surely a yellow card. I think he's going to escape punishment from Nordin Subovic. Going to get an Italian substitution, yeah.
I'm always a believer the referee's always right, but in that instance, I think he's reversed all the way and just made the contact that's taken him out.
Yeah, he's done very well to escape that yellow card. We're going to get the substitution prior to play resume. It's going to be Arini Infantino, the Italian number 18 coming off. And in her place, I think it's number 8, Gabriele Zoggia. And that should be confirmed on your screens. So, Jakob Schriefel, another credible opportunity for Austria. Fired into the box, cleared well by Gabriel Mindru. It's going to be taken quickly by Henry Ziegner. Just to the back wheel of Mindru. Schriefel there to keep pressure, contact.
He's on a... honestly, this is... one more and he's off. This is...
I think Nordin Subovic is having a word with his compatriot.
He is seriously on last warning, because that was reversing in.
It'd be very interesting to see if Austria adapt accordingly and maybe take him off. Arthur Vollmann ready to come on.
This is the thing. I'm sorry, Ryan. It's the risk you take, right? Because obviously if he gets a red card, he's suspended for the final game. Okay, albeit it is against Switzerland. Again, no disrespect to Switzerland.
Well, it could have very easily be the final, couldn't it? And that would be extremely significant.
I just think, what is the balance you're trying to strike here? Are you trying to get the win, in which case you realise that Jakob Schriefel is playing a very key role in Austria's attack?
Schriefel.
But if you want to try and preserve having 4 players on the field, do you say, look, we'll take him off? And Arthur Vollmann played very well in that first game, and so he's a very capable understudy to bring on.
As we mentioned, surely any more infringement of the laws of the game will be awarded accordingly. No doubt he's very close to being awarded that red card. Play will continue though. He'll have to be more disciplined in the final 10 minutes. Still 10 minutes to go in this game. So
that's the thing, you're trying to strike the balance between wanting to win,
of course,
but also if you lose a player, to be very
I think you've got to take into consideration as Henry Ziegner fires it over to Ilyas Jusic, millimetres away from making contact with that ball. Rolls out for a goal kick. Now, as I was saying, I think it's worth considering that just with taking the games they've played into consideration, a draw for Italy suits them more than it does Austria. Irrelevant of opposition tomorrow, Italy will feel with 4 points on the board. If they manage to get a point from this game, would feel confident ahead of that fixture. Exciting fixture with Germany tomorrow morning.
That chance there for Austria would have been, if that had gone in, I think it might have been very contentious, because I believe linesman Caroline Bean signalled for a 2-on-1, which referee Nordin Subovic did not give.
Ziegner did well there to find the space to generate the room to fire a shot goal bound, but wide of the right hand post. Gabriele Mindru to take the goal kick into Faraza, met by Jakob Schriefel. Zoggia hasn't had much involvement since his recent introduction as Faraza tries to advance into...
Very brave spinning there when you're on a yellow card last morning. Driving up the court now. Battling away with opposition skipper. Across this centre now. Faraza, the outside man. That is something we haven't mentioned for those who are new to the sport. The ball is wedged between two players as it exits the field of play. The player who is trying to keep the ball in, so player on the outside, is the one that is given the benefit of the doubt. There's a shot from Ilyas Jusic there, which had to be saved by Gabriel Mindru, and that would have been a turn one had Austria not won the kick in.
Yeah, Jusic coming over to take this kick in.
Mindru's not 5 metres, I do believe. Needs to be in line with the post to be 5 metres, is he not?
Into the side of Mindru's chair. Second attempt from Jusic. Yeah, 2-on-1. Mindru just about coming out of his box. Ranzato trapped just outside it. Indirect free kick with 8 minutes to play. We're taken by Jakob Schriefel. Henry Ziegner occupying the space between the two defensive players.
Ziegner's not in space there. They're blocking each other at the minute.
Jusic, interesting formation. Ziegner now coming to the right-hand side, just to the left of Marco Faraza. Jusic in the centre of the court, closely marked by Simone Ranzato. Into Jusic, couldn't get full power because Ranzato was limiting his space. And good defensive work from the Italians. Goes out for a goal kick.
And it's the Austrians who are putting the pressure on in the second half. But there's a gap there.
I would have liked to seen that pass more directed towards the path of Simone Ranzato.
No chance of getting on into that.
There wasn't much direction on it. A late rally in support.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this Italian support is something else.
It is brilliant.
Space here. Gabriele Zogia just vacated that room for Jakob Schriefel, who gladly...
I'm really paying attention to kind of the contact and the positioning of Schreifel's chair. Surely any more contact? Oh, that was close to contact as Jusic fires it.
It's one of those in the running game. There is contact, but was it enough to make the person go down, for example, in the running game?
The thing with power chair football is you hear it.
Yes.
Metal on metal sends ricocheted shock waves through the arena, so there's no hiding from contact in the sport of power chair football. As Zogia now just tries to adjust 180 to face the Austrian goal, met by Jakob Schriefel, the Austrian number 6. Back to Faraza. Austria, in terms of their defensive setup, have been very good in this second half. Italy haven't had many chances.
I'm getting nervous every time Jakob Schriefel gets in the contact.
It would play a significant factor into their overall competition. Faraza to take indirect free kick into Ranzato, guides it goalbound, met by Jakob Schriefel into Henry Ziegner, fired up the court, mishit from Faraza. Henry Ziegner capitalises, flicks it back to Jakob Schriefel, couldn't quite return the favour to the Austrian number 11, eventually going out of play for an Austrian kick-in. Fast-paced finish, 5 minutes to go in this final game of the day. We'll bring you the final standings at the conclusion of this game. Tomorrow, the final 2 group games. Italy take on Germany at 10 o'clock, Central European summertime. And at 11:40, Austria take on Switzerland before our placing games. As has been mentioned across our stream today, whoever finishes in first and second, respectively, across the group stage will automatically progress to the EPFA Four Nations 2023 final. Third and fourth will face one another to determine the placings of third and fourth. Zorgia.
Better from Michael Kiefler there. More alert when his goalkeeper leaves the box. He's got a drop.
He's been very untested, very isolated throughout this second half. So complacency could play a big role into the factor in. Caroline Bean having a word with Nordin Sibovic.
He could be off.
I think
it's a free kick. He's off. He's off.
I think we're going to get this. We've spoken about it time and time again. Jakob Schreufel is awarded his second yellow card of the game. You should have confirmation time and time again. It could have come a lot sooner than the 36th minute. Huge blow for Austria and a really credible opportunity here.
Someone with a goalkeeper jersey.
In the final 3 minutes for Italy to secure 3 points. Artur Volman now coming on. Michael Kiefler looks like he's coming off. Let's confirm that substitution for you on the stream across the EPFA YouTube channel.
We've mentioned, you're right, we mentioned it time and time
really
again.
Did.
And I thought he was going to get away with it.
No, Caroline Bean, the head of European referees at EPFA, quick to let her central referee know that enough was enough.
We were right. The next bit of contact.
A late rally pressure.
2.5 minutes now of just pure Italian pressure.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're Austria now, you settle for the point.
Sometimes it's harder to break 3 players down than it is 2. So,
well, not the way that Austria is setting up here. Look.
No. Henry Ziegner very advanced down the court. Mindru to Volman, the 2 keepers for respective nations exchanging quick, snappy pick-off passes. 2 minutes remaining. Austria 0, Italy 0. Austria down to 3 players following that recent red card for Jakob Schreufel. Marco Ferraza to take this kick in on the far right-hand side. Fired centrally, a lot of pace, goes all the way to Artur Volman in the Austria goal.
Henry Ziegler needs to go back to goal. Just go back to the line. Don't turn around.
I think it's that unfamiliarity in that role. He plays a very attacking, advanced role, typically for the Austrian national side.
This is the thing now. They're going to have a man open. Who do you mark?
Yeah, very interesting. Ferraza readying himself to take. Mindru very advanced on the left-hand side. He has an attempt at goal just wide of the left-hand post. Arguably Italy's most credible opportunity in this game, if not then when they have 1 minute remaining to try and get the winner. Miss-hit from Artur Volman. Ferraza there to sweep up immediately. Almost another 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Italy.
Oh, there's no one back.
Ranzato miss-hit. Late 2-on-1. This time in favour of Austria. They're going to get that respite. Very intense, exciting end to day 1 of the EPFA 4 Nations 2023.
If I'm an Austrian coach, I'm just telling them to relax. Look how open they are. The keeper's taking the free kicks.
Volman.
On one hand, you kind of rate the attacking play, but this is leaving them very exposed at the back.
Ranzato with possession. 2-on-1 awarded in favour of Italy. We've had the regulation 20, so now into any additional time. Our referee Nordin Sibovic has accrued across this second half. Surely that red card is going to play and add a few seconds at least
for the red card.
Marco Ferraza readying himself to shake. Ranzato well marked by Ilyas Jusic. Mindru marked by Ziegner. So condensed, and a chance. Couldn't quite get the angle on his chair to guide it goal bound.
Goal kick. This will eat away a few precious seconds.
Leo Vasili pointing at his
Is that
watch.
German for breathe or relax?
You can surely hear Leo Vasili so animated on the sidelines, and that will conclude the game. Austria 0, Italy 0. I said it would be a fantastic game. Action-packed from start to finish. They share the spoils.
Henry Ziegler looks like he's just lost the final.
Incredibly intense, especially considering the red card. Full credit to both nations. We'll bring you up the live standings in just a second and see how that result affects the overall competition.
To catch my breath after that.
Yeah, really good, really good. So that concludes the first day of the EPFA 4 Nations. We started with a 2-2 draw, Germany versus Austria, followed by a 6-0 victory for Italy over Switzerland, and Germany beating Switzerland 13-0 after that. This one, 0-0 it finished. It doesn't do it justice,
no,
that
scoreline at all.
In any way, shape or form.
Player of the match, right?
Wow. Wow, what a question.
See, before Jakob Schüffel got sent off, I'd give it to him.
I wholeheartedly agree. I will probably say I really don't know. Marco Ferrazza probably. He was just calm throughout. But as you said, I think Austria were probably the better team, taking into consideration the first and second half. Austria far the better side throughout the second. Late pressure following that red card. What a game. If that's a sign of things to come in the kind of the final group games tomorrow and the placing fixtures, we're in for a brilliant day too. Let's get you the live standings. Hopefully it will all be updated on your screens now. You can see what that result does. They are not currently updated. We will strive to make sure that they are updated.
Well, we'll describe it for now. That puts Italy on 4 points.
Yeah. Italy on 4 points, Austria on 2. So,
all to play for.
As we've mentioned, goal difference could play a huge, considerable factor in that 13-0 victory for Germany over Switzerland, more than double that of Italy's victory over Switzerland. So please put that into consideration. Austria will have to play their most attacking four. Obviously, without Jakob Schreifel now.
This is the thing. The Germany-Italy game is before the Austria-Switzerland, right? So your three scenarios are either, well, your two scenarios really. If there's a winner in the game, Austria then simply need a win against Switzerland to qualify for the final.
Yeah.
If the Germany-Italy game is a draw, then Austria will need to score a certain amount of goals to overtake. It would be Italy, I believe.
Yeah.
They would need to score 7 against Switzerland to overtake Italy and play Germany in the final. But that is all speculative and tomorrow. For today, it was a brilliant day of action, a brilliant advert for Power Chair football in the central region. This being the first tournament in the central region. As
I mentioned at the start of the day, I think it's worth considering that all 4 of these nations are in their relative infancy in terms of their wider Power Chair or international journeys. This being only the second competition of Switzerland, Germany and Italy, and we're seeing how well they're competing, the quality on show. It just speaks volumes to the development of Power Chair football in the continent.
Roll on tomorrow. Roll on tomorrow.
Yeah, so looking forward to it. Go through the schedule one last time for tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central European Summer Time. The time zone, Italy take on Germany. Austria take on Switzerland at 11:40 before our placing games. We'll talk about them more tomorrow. You should see the most updated table on your screens now. You see how significant it's all playing out, the goal difference that Germany have accrued across their 2 games for very well-earned points for Italy. Austria face Switzerland tomorrow, so we'll see how they fare without their captain, number 6, Jakob Striefel. But that concludes the day. Thank you, Greg, for your company. Look forward to more of the same tomorrow. We're off to the pub for Bavarian beer.
Speak for yourself. I don't drink, Ryan.
Okay.
I'll be the responsible one.
I'll drink for both of us.
As usual in this duo.
But anyway, thank you to all that have joined us. We hope you can join us for more action tomorrow in the EPFA Four Nations 2023.